right, so more and more information's coming out about the Iowa State athlete gambling investigation right now. There's a lot to it. And I think more and more is coming now, so we'll have to wait to, once the investigation is done, just to kind of see what information that we end up finding out. So right now, I think there's about 26 athletes, students, whatever, at the University of Iowa that are under investigation, and also like 15 or 16 up there at Iowa State. And a lot of it is looking like it's underage gambling. So I think that's the biggest thing about it right now. Like I said, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, so we'll have to wait to see what the information comes out. And but I just have a lot of thoughts on sports gambling through my experience, and also just my my opinion, my thoughts on that right now. So as I mentioned, there's like 40 plus athletes, and primarily what it's looking like is as information is coming out, that's more of just the underage gambling versus, which is like a misdemeanor here in at Iowa. And I think the people who are going to have more issues with anything else is probably the NCAA than anything else, than the legality issue of it. So it's one of those things where sports gambling is prevalent, and it's legal here in the state of Iowa, and has been for the past couple of years, and it's bringing tons of revenue for taxes, and it's not going anywhere, guys. I guess you can say the Pandora's box is open. You're not going to be able to close it in regards to sports gambling and betting. Now, my biggest thing is that I am a proponent of it. I mean, that's my opinion, and is what it is. I enjoy it. I like it, and I think it's going to be part of sports throughout, pretty much endeavors of sports, and it always has been. Now, it's no longer under the table, behind the bookies with a baseball bat to collect type of deal as much, because now it's all out in the open. And I believe by it being all out in the open, you're gonna find stuff like this happens because of all the legalities and the tracing of apps and everything. Because right now it's very easy to bet on sports, especially if you're in a legalized state, through the apps and everything. You don't even have to go to the casino. You don't have to go to the locations to put any bets in nowadays, because you can just do validate it through an app and just put it through that. Now, underage people are like, well, how are they able to do it? It's pretty simple. You get an account, or you can have somebody who's 21 and over get an account, and they can just put in bets and plays for you. It's that simple, guys, because like I say, you don't have to step into a casino to put in the bets anymore, having these apps and everything legalized. So like I said, it's already open to Pandora's box. I mean, I guess if you want to compare apples to apples or whatnot, it's just like underage drinking. So once you hit the certain age, 21, you're able to purchase alcohol. So, most of these players, or just people, kids in general, are able to probably put bets in through somebody who has an account, or who's 21, who's able to open an account. So it's simple as that. Same thing was underage drinking. You have somebody who's over 21 be able to go ahead and purchase you alcohol, which is still illegal, don't get me wrong, is what it is on that, guys. And then now my thoughts on sports betting and gambling. I mean, how do you control it? That's going to be something that the Iowa Gaming Commission is going to have to kind of figure out. And I believe the Division of Criminal Investigation is still going through the process for all these students at Iowa and Iowa State. But they're going to have to kind of figure out how they can get a handle on it. I mean, it's the same thing with underage drinking. How do you get a handle on it? That's still happening since I was a teenager, guys. So there is no handle on that. I think they've tried the best they can to minimize it, but it's still something that it's prevalent. So underage gambling, I mean, I hate to say it's going to be prevalent. When did I start sports betting? I'll be upfront and frank with you guys. It's been a part of my DNA, and I've probably put in bets since I was like 10 or 12 years old. Now, I'm not saying hundreds and thousands of dollars. I was a kid. I put $1, $2, $5, whatever the case may be. And yes, I did have some connections. I did know some bookies and things like that. So now it being legalized, how I bet through is through the app legally with the casino. And I actually appreciate this better because there is no credits, because we can talk about that too, because bookies, you bet on credit, you can dig yourself a hole pretty badly. So if you guys don't understand how bookies work, is that they'll take your plays and your bets on credit, and next thing you know, you can be down $100, and next thing you know, next week you can be down $2,000. It just, that's how it works, and then all of a sudden you can't dig yourself out of that hole. Versus nowadays, if legalize, go through a casino or whatever the case may be, a lot of those times now you have to put the money up front, so there is no credit in regards to placing bets and stuff like that. So then if you have the money, then you can put the bet. If you don't have it, you can't bet it. And I think that's the best part of legalized gambling and betting through a casino legalized venture, because now there's none of that credit bets where you got the boogeyman coming with a baseball bet to collect their money once you dig yourself a hole. And this is the thing about sports betting. You can definitely see that it's a spiral, because if you, especially if you bet on credit, I feel like, because if you bet $100 here, then you lose that bet, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I get double down, I gotta try and make my money back. Next thing you know, you double down, then you're down $300-400. Then next thing you know, like, okay, I gotta play one big bet to double down on it, and next thing you know, you're down $1,000-2,000. Then all of a sudden, mortgage pay, then, because this is on credit, so if you were to bet on just whatever money you have on play, that's all you can lose. So I guess in that sense, I feel like that's a better play on that. But sports betting in regards to college, it's prevalent, guys. I don't know, some people aren't in the world of sports betting or gambling like that. If you don't know, you just don't know. It's prevalent, especially with college kids, college students, because that's part of the college nature that I was a part of, at least that I've seen. I have plenty of friends and family who don't even touch gambling. They can't stand it. My wife doesn't even touch it at all. She can't stand it at all. So I know people like that. But I also know the side where it's prevalent, especially when you're at college. You're huge into sports. You support your team or whatever the case may be. You put some money down, and that's just the way it goes. So I'm not knocking on these kids that were possibly putting in plays and bets. But my biggest thing is that, were these kids putting bets? Not only was it underage gambling, were they putting bets on specific, hopefully it wasn't like on their sport or whatever the case may be. Because I believe that is the law here, or at least the NCAA, is that if there's no gambling period, you can't bet on, I believe, specific sports in your state or at your school, that it's a professional team or something like that. But I believe you can't even bet on that. So I mean, it could be some of these kids are putting bets on the NFL, or they're putting bets on basketball in the NBA or something, even though they're in college. So like I said, underage betting, it's a misdemeanor here, but obviously it's going to be frowned upon against the NCAA. More information is going to be coming out, so we'll see. This is actually going to affect a lot of things, because as you guys saw, I think there was a couple Iowa baseball players who weren't even in the game. They ended up getting benched, I believe. So that affected that line for that game. So a lot of things. And if there's football players, which I heard there's some football players, whether it's at Iowa State, that are involved in this, it's going to affect the future lines right now. So if you guys haven't seen, I don't know, I haven't checked, but there's prop bets that casinos and everybody puts up for win-loss for specific football teams. So that's going to affect, if we don't know who's getting investigated, who's going to be suspended. So that's going to affect the line. So I'm pretty sure those lines are going to probably be coming off on all the casinos and everything in regards to future prop bets for win loss percentages, especially for Iowa State basketball, football. That's going to really affect a lot of things until more information comes out of who's going to get impacted on this. So, and the crazy thing is that I was just listening to some other broadcasts, is that a lot of the coaches don't even know quite yet how deep this is going. So it's very uncharted territory, and they don't even know exactly the type of investigations going on. I'm pretty sure they have an idea, but they don't know the exact how deep this really goes. So it's going to be interesting. And And like I said, I don't think it's at least by the information that has been leaked out or given, I don't believe it has anything to do with point shaving or anything like that, which is, people need to relax on that. So if it's just if it's just underage gambling, I don't see a huge issue with that. But of course, NCAA will. Some people, you have your morals. Everybody's morals is different. You can't put your morals on somebody else. So somebody who doesn't believe in gambling, it is what it is. And some people who enjoy it as entertainment, there you guys go. So that's kind of where we're at on that. More information shall come out, and we'll see how much this is going to impact, like I said, future prop bets for the, at least locally here at Iowa and Iowa State, and then what part of the team that this is going to affect. So I think this will affect some of it. So I think NCAA and all this information, they're going to have to change a few things, and they're going to have to try to fine tune how you can control this gambling thing. And then just so you guys know, it's not just prevalent here at Iowa. If you guys are wondering if other schools, other states have this issue, yes, it is what it is. It's the same thing in my eyes as alcohol and drinking. Imagine the amount of underage drinking that happens in all campuses across the nation. There you guys go. If you're wondering, same thing with gambling, whatever, especially even if it's legalized in their states or not. I'm telling you guys, this is the thing. I lived in Iowa. Legalities for sports betting just became legal a couple years ago. How long have I been sports betting? Beyond that, just so you guys know. So it is prevalent everywhere. It is what it is, but at least now it's out in the open, so then they can track and trace. So this is the information. They may have never known this to happen if it was an illegal entity to be able to do here, and they having the tracking ability of it. So there you guys go. Just my thoughts. Do it for entertainment purposes, guys. That's what I do. I just have fun with it. I'm not looking to make a living off of it or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see what more information is going to come out. So I'll let you guys know what my thoughts are and what I end up finding out. So there you guys go. If you guys like this shit, subscribe.